My first guest is the great, it's easy to say great on television, but this man is great, the great Jim Brown. He is indisputably the best running back that ever lived. If you don't know what running back means, if you're not a sports fan, this will show you. Just watch the screen. Not everyone can do that, but he is one of the world's great athletes. He's given up football for the great silver screen, and he has starred in a new film now called Tick, Tick, Tick. Will you please welcome a really great athlete and a good sport for being here, Jim Brown. Is he a big... Have a seat. I don't know what, sorry, I don't know what came over me. How nice to see you. I guess, is it still nice to see me? Do you have a low boiling point?
No, it's beautiful to be here.
Yeah. Say, when you... I was reading that thing today. What is it, the thing that you gained a mile yardage in one year?
Well, something like that, you know.
Yeah. There's no one else has ever done that.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But it'll probably happen very soon.
Yeah.
They get bigger and faster.
They what?
They get bigger and faster all the time.
Who do you like in the game now? Who do you watch?
Well, I guess I like Kelly, Leroy Kelly. He's with my old team, the Cleveland Browns, and he's fabulous.
Yeah.
And I like him because I predicted that he would be when I retired, so it's kind of a special pleasure to see him, you know. Beautiful guy.
Are you psyching me now? You're supposed to be a great psych artist, and that frightens me.
Oh, did you read Life magazine or something?
Yeah, I read the Life article, and you had the writer of that so on edge. He didn't know which way he was going.
Well, yeah, I agree with you. He didn't, after reading the article.
Oh, yeah?
At least I didn't like the way he was going.
Did he miss a couple of things?
Quite a few, yeah. He was really talking about himself.
Yeah, he had a blister.
And I intruded upon his article.
You gave him a blister on his foot. I wasn't quite clear exactly
well,
how.
Well, he's a basketball player, but he's my age, but he's like about 20 pounds heavier. Yeah. So we played and I won, and he didn't like that, you know.
I didn't think anyone was 20 pounds heavier than you. What do you weigh?
I'm about 225, 226.
225?
6'2", yeah.
Yeah. Do you realize that you're two of me? Which is not the most flattering thing you could tell someone, I guess. Well, what film are you making now?
I'm not working right now. I have two others that I did after Tick, Tick, Tick. Thing called The Grasshopper with Jacqueline Bisset, very beautiful girl.
Yes, she certainly is a beautiful girl.
Yes, she is. Fantastic. Yeah. Nice, too.
I'll go along with you. And nice.
Yeah.
Do you like both niceness and beauty in ladies?
Yes. I think they go together, you know.
Yeah.
They're all not like that.
Not all ladies are nice.
No, some of them aren't.
No, a lot of ladies are rats.
Some are ambitious, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of you is probably a rat. Let me take that back.
No, they're all beautiful.
Yeah. This is an unusually good-looking audience, as audiences go. And even for any audience, this is an unusually... They're going to applaud themselves any second.
Yeah, what'd you do, set it up or something? Well, you look at that group. That's a fantastic group right
Aren't
here.
they great? But get a load of the balcony. No, sorry.
A lot of men up there.
If they start down here, will you be on my side?
Yes, I'd be on your side.
Have you run into much homosexuality in pro football?
Well, actually, I haven't run into any of it. What about you?
I'm playing with my life here. Do you realize that this is a sort of Russian roulette? No, I'll tell you what. The reason I ask that, and if I
I'd like to know.
If
really,
I can think of it quickly here.
This is quite different.
There was a reason. I know. I was on a show once with Tony Randall, and he watches pro football, and he said, you know, over the years he has noticed that there's an awful lot of patting each other on the posterior, and he said, Of course, a man who would choose a profession in which he is with other men constantly and all, and all of this fanny slapping and all that sort of.
Yeah.
He began to want his address. No, Randall had that theory, and I just, of course, I told him he was silly.
Well, if there was any question, it would have to be the center and the quarterback.
Yeah, do you know of cases where that's led to a meaningful relationship?
No.
People always want to say what gets said in the huddle, and I don't know if you still ask that question. It's kind of a dumb one, but
Well,
is it all
actually,
business? Is it all?
No, sometimes it's quite interesting. I can't think of any stories to tell, but it depends on how the game's going.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if the game's going well, everybody's asking for the ball. You know, they're asking the quarterback for the ball. If it's like a tight spot, then everybody's very quiet. You know, and the game predicts basically what goes on in the huddle.
What's the worst you've been hurt?
I had a bad wrist.
Yeah.
It was sprained,
Yeah.
and that was about it. You know,
So you now have a limp wrist.
sort of. But
I've gotta get off
I
this
never
theme.
had that question. You know, this is the first time
That
I've
is
really
a-
talked about that subject.
Which?
That subject you like to talk about.
Oh. Oh, now he's turning the worm on me. Or the worm is turning. What was I going to ask you next? You know, I heard that a guy got his hand under your mask one time and
And I bit him.
raked your face.
And I bit him.
Did you bite him immediately, or like? I mean,
I bit his hand.
oh, you bit his hand.
Yes,
Oh,
because it was.
that was never clear to me. You see, they don't they don't report these things clearly enough.
Oh no, he put his hand under my face mask.
Was this
And he
right
was
after you
trying
tackled?
to gouge my eyes. And I bit his hand because I was like pinned. I couldn't do anything else, and he was going to like stick his fingers in my eyes.
Wow.
So the sports writers got on me because he cried to them that I bit him. And I said, well, how could I bite a man with a face mask on
That's right. How
his
could-
hand?
Did that stop them?
Well, yeah, they were very logical. They figured out that his hand had to be under here.
Didn't take Sherlock Holmes to
That's
figure
right.
that out.
yeah.
What went through your mind, though, when that happened? Was it just an instant reflex, or was it hatred, or
No, just survival.
survival?
Yes.
How common is that? Because Joe Namath told me about a guy raking his eyes one time with.
Well, when I first came into the game, you know, football players weren't too intelligent, and a lot of it used to go on. Then they got the level of intelligence really like rose, and there's not too much of it now, really.
Yeah.
Ball players are very hip, and they understand it's a business, and they don't try to put each other out of commission, you know, in an unfair way. And there's a great deal of respect among players now.
Can you be just furious at a guy after a play who did try to hurt you, and then does it vanish right away because you realize it's just part of the profession, or do you kind of look for the guy in the next game?
Well, I've only done it twice, I think. I've been involved in a couple of scrapes in 9 years. But what I usually do is if there's a guy that's trying to do something to me and my hands are free, I'll grab his wrist. And so I have very strong hands usually.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So I'd grab his wrist, and then after the play, I'll come up with the hand, and I'll usually say, hey, like, you know, you're a better ball player than this. You don't want to do something like this, you know.
You
And the
reason
guy
better.
say, well, yeah, Jim, you're right. I'm sorry, you know. Like that. I mean, it's an eyeball confrontation.
The
which,
logical approach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, it starts with the respect.
How'd you decide where to go to college? I know you had offers from everywhere.
Well, see, I went to school on Long Island, Manhasset, and it's a fantastic school. I think it was rated academically #2 in the country. So they have a lot of money to pay the teachers there, so they get good teachers. And they all wanted me to go to Syracuse, so I went to Syracuse University because of them.
Yeah.